Nokia is back in town. A new company, HMD Global, has taken ownership of the popular brand and has big plans for the future. But before those plans come to fruition, it has released a few good looking affordable phones, and we have its cheapest Android smartphone up for review, the Nokia 3. If you had handed us a Nokia 3 a couple of years ago and never turned the screen on, we would have said that it looks just like another Nokia Windows phone. It definitely carries that legacy look. That's not a bad thing. The frame is made of metal and feels premium, while the back cover is plastic, but it blends well with the frame and looks good. As an added bonus, it does not get smudged with fingerprints easily. The Nokia 3 is 0.33 inch thick, but feels even thinner and sleeker because of its rounded sides. Up front you have the Nokia logo discreetly located in the upper right corner, while in the bottom part there are the 3 Android navigation capacitive keys. What's missing is a backlight for those keys, plus there is no LED notification light. The most notable missing feature though is a fingerprint scanner. It feels weird having a phone without a proper fingerprint reader in 2017. On the very bottom you have a micro USB port for charging the Nokia 3. No USB-C here, but most other phones in this price range don't have it either. Finally, the Nokia 3 is also a dual SIM phone that also supports micro SD cards. You have a 2-slot tray for the SIM cards and a separate one for the micro SD cards, all on the left side of the phone. The phone is not water protected in any special way, so keep that in mind. There is a 5-inch HD IPS LCD display on the Nokia 3. The low resolution is noticeable. There is a slight pixelization, especially noticeable when you look at text, but what's worse is that there is this blue tint to everything. Colors are just not balanced well at all. On the plus side, you do get proper oleophobic coating, a feature that is not all that common on cheap phones. On the software side, the Nokia 3 is as clean of an Android experience as they get. There is no bloatware, but not much to get excited about either. We like the fact that there are no duplicate apps, it's all just Google apps taking over. As a gallery, you have the excellent Google Photos. For calendar, you have Google's great calendar app, the default browser is Chrome, and the email client is Gmail. There is also an FM radio receiver that you can use when you plug in headphones or an external speaker to the phone. In real life, using Facebook on this phone is frustrating. We have seen Facebook bugs and performance issues on multiple Android phones recently, but here the app simply freezes upon opening photo galleries, and scrolling the newsfeed is particularly stuttery. One of the areas where it really shows that the Nokia 3 is an affordable phone is performance. The phone runs on an entry-level MediaTek quad-core chip and it's got 2GB of RAM, and this combination is just not good enough in the daily grind. Navigating around the home screen and first-party apps actually happens fairly smoothly, but once you get to use third-party apps you notice the phone slowing down significantly. The other shortcut the Nokia takes is storage. You only have 16 gigs of storage on board, of which you only have around 7 GB for your apps, photos, videos and music. Luckily you do have a micro SD card option and we recommend using it. The phone comes equipped with an 8-megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture, and up front you have another 8-megapixel shooter. The camera app itself looks like a thing from the past with a weird, confusing and slow interface. Why do you need these large 1x, 2x and 3x buttons to speed up the video right there on the main screen? It's a little absurd. And what about image quality? First, this camera is slow to focus and you will miss a lot of memories with it. If you get focus, images are actually good for this class of a phone, colors look fine and you have some decent detail, especially in macros. You also have the option to tap to focus or change the exposure, but we do not recommend trying this as it completely messes up exposure. Selfies turn out okay on the Nokia 3. It's a bit hard to get focus right, so you need to be patient, but when you are, you get fairly good results. But then you get to video and the Nokia 3 can only record up to 720p HD resolution. Even cheap phones these days record 1080p, so this is frustrating. The video quality is plain poor. You lag detail terribly, it looks like these videos were taken on a phone from a decade ago, focus is very slow and colors do not look great.
So let me move forward towards the camera and I'll just step here in the sun.
there is a single loudspeaker located at the bottom of the phone. It's in that exact spot where you hold the phone, and when you cover it just slightly with your hand, it gets muffled easily. Sound quality with the loudspeaker is disappointing. It's not sufficiently loud and the quality is subpar. The speaker sounds very tinny. On a positive note, call quality on the Nokia 3 is reasonably clear and you can understand your colours with ease. The Nokia 3 features a 2650 mAh battery. In real life experience, we average around a day and a half off the charger, with more intense use killing the battery in a day. Not great, but not bad either. What's not so great is recharge time. This phone is slow to charge. Using the 5-watt charger in the box, it took us an excruciatingly long 3 hours to fully refuel the battery. Drawing the line, the Nokia 3 is one of the cheapest phones around, but that does not mean that there aren't any alternatives. For just slightly more, you can get the more refined Galaxy A3 2017. It shines with its brilliant design, water-protected body, better quality camera and excellent Samsung interface. Next up, you have last year's Moto G4 that is still selling well. It is a similarly clean experience, but it's got the better camera of these two. And then, if you can get it where you live, the Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime is tremendous value for the money. The phone has extraordinary battery life, much better performance thanks to the Snapdragon 625 chip inside and a superior camera. At the end of the day, the Nokia 3 is a well-designed phone that catches the eye, but this impression turns out to be only superficial. Using the phone reveals many shortcomings: the stuttery underpowered performance, the camera that is completely inept in video, and one display with very bluish colors. If you are on the hunt for that perfect cheap phone, well, who knows if it even exists, but we know that it most likely is not the Nokia 3.